Hey, Shalom Yasharal,
Shalom.
which means peace, Israel. We'd like to start off by giving our praises, our honor, and our glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. All right, what you just heard us speak was the Paleo Hebrew, and Yahweh, that is the true and powerful mighty name, or who the word ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh, or Ahaya. Ba'ashem means in the name. Yahweh Shai, that's the true and powerful mighty name, of who the word ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yeshua, or Yeshaya, and the Rakakadash is the Holy Spirit, according to the ancient Paleo Hebrew tongue. We would like to give up honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who we learn the truth of the Bible from, and peace, blessing, safety, and salutation until the hopeful elect, and to you believers and listeners out there that came back into the faith and obedience of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and much love and respect unto you brothers, pushing this gospel in sincerity and truth, risking your lives and freedom, now more so than ever. May Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai continue to bless you and your households. I'm the brother Yuwam, and this is
Naquam.
and we are here today fishing for the elect of the nation of Israel, which the nation of Israel consists primarily of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and Haitians. And you also have the Israelite foreigners who are likened unto a speckled bird, who may look like the heathen nations because they've been scattered amongst the heathen nations. But their bloodline and lineage goes back onto Jacob by way of their fathers. Okay, this is not a black thing. This is an Israelite thing. Now don't get it twisted. The bulk of the Israelites today do consist of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but you know, we have been scattered to the four corners of the earth. Okay?
I like how you circumspect like that. You're very circumspect.
Hey man, hey, the apostles and elders,
we gotta stay circumspect.
the apostles and elders tell us they say we gotta be, you know, especially when we're on the line, we always got to have our head on the swivel.
You're
You know,
right. So, yeah. I mean, but hey, it's inspiring.
But today's lesson, we're going into the fall of Edom. Okay?
Yeah, since we ain't never went into
Oops,
that.
sorry. Yeah, you know, it's been a minute, so you know, since me and Yazriella, you know, shout out to the brother out there in California.
How you doing, Rod?
Oh, he's doing good. Last we talked, you know, he said he was doing good, so yeah, that's what's up. The brother's doing. He's trying to hold it together, just like all of us out here in Babylon, just trying to keep it together in these times that we're in, man.
Right.
Because you know, we're coming into that great tribulation, you know, i.e. Jacob's trouble. Okay, you got shit. It was like what was it? 100,000 something women, black, so-called black women. Yep, lost their jobs. Okay, you got. I mean, I work in the cargo industry, and hey man, when I say my warehouse, it's usually full around this because I've been working at my job for like, you know, 10 plus years, and normally around this time of year the warehouse be full, be packed. But shit, since your boy DJ Trump issued them tariffs, man, the warehouse looking mighty naked, and shit, it's been slow. Like, you know, the production, you know, it's been slow going in and out. And you know, this is just, you know, the beginning. I'll say that. Nah, this is it's like the beginning of the middle.
Yeah, we're in the midst of it. You know, I mean, the thing is that it's all the whole downfall of America, Babylon the Great, is simply happening. You know, and like we all believe that Donald Trump is just that cool.
That cool Lord that it talks
you know,
about
that
Isaiah.
Isaiah said he was sent. Yeah, you know, because he's doing everything and he ain't stopping. This dude here, he just going for it. This dude is going for it for real, you know. And then he let you know what I'm saying? He let you know what he about. You know what I'm saying? He got rid of all, like, I don't know how many it was, but a lot of these Northern Kingdom people, you know what I'm saying? And immediately brought in all these South Africaners, you know what I'm saying? These Edomites from South Africa, you know, saying that they being genocided, whatever the
They
you know what I'm saying?
facing genocide out there with
Yeah.
Ham.
Yeah.
So, Esau, shipping them all over here, but shit, they fucking foreigners too. They're quote unquote aliens,
Right.
but they letting them in because that's Esau people.
Right. But what the fuck are you even doing in Africa when you think about it?
Exactly.
What the fuck are you doing in Ham's land?
Because they taking all their resources.
He won't keep it home.
Yep, he's not a keeper at home. But you had quoted, I'm gonna get it, this Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt, which Egypt is talking about here, America. Okay. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud. That's the chariot.
Mm-hmm.
It shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and that's what we're coming into, man. Because this country, this kingdom is divided. And Yahweh Shai said, the kingdom that's at odds against itself cannot stand. Roughly paraphrasing.
Yep.
Okay.
And, just right quick, and then I'm gonna let you continue. I look at the videos from the brother. I think it's
Arrows of Indignation 144.
Yeah. And
he posts a lot of edifying.
Yeah.
Videos.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And
you should subscribe to that if you can.
Hey, and on the cool, for when brothers are, having a hard time coming up with material, go scroll their brother page, and you can use them videos, for content. I know I used the Hope of Elect 3.
Yeah, and that and GMS get this work.
Yeah.
A lot of them, not to suck my yum.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Hey, these brothers are edifying, and we feed off each other.
Yeah, because that's what the body's supposed to do. Iron sharpen iron.
But I was gonna say, I noticed in a lot of these videos he be posting, it's on TikTok, and it's a bunch of male Edomite. It's Edomite men, and it's female Israelites that's doing the most complaining.
Yeah.
Now that shows you how the tables are turned. That shows you that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, he got his hand in this.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it lets you know hey, it's about to be all about us in a little bit.
About the Israelite man. Okay. We're continuing on. Verse 2, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. Right, and you can see it. Look at all the shit that Trump doing. I mean, there's no more wisdom. There's no wisdom here in America. Okay. And they shall seek to the idols and the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. And that's why they doing all these rituals behind closed doors and whatever, because they know their time is running up and they trying to get it together. Okay, because Esau want to try to kick the can down the road some more.
But he knows that his time is up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. He got that message. Your kingdom has been in Daniel.
Yep. When the writing was on the wall.
Yeah, your kingdom has been I can't think of the word, but it said it's been found wanting.
Found lacking.
Yeah, so I mean it's been numbered. His days are numbered. And
he got bounds he got bounds he can't go past.
Exactly.
In the book of Job. But let me finish this off.
He still went to the moon though. I'm just saying.
And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, and that's Donald Trump, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Okay? Now hold on, I want you to grab this for me real quick. No, it's in
So not good.
boy, she taking it off for you. She taking that over for you. And she said, I'm gonna give you a little shoulder look at. All right, get 2 Ezra 15 and 14 through
16 and 14?
Yeah, stop at 16.
Can I go all the way to 19?
Hell no. No, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, so I'll try to.
You sound like Eliel Sharoba when he just be chill about it at the end of his lessons. And he'd be like, okay, now we're just going to get Genesis, the first chapter, and we're going to read all of that. Like, you could just already did a 2-hour lesson. And they be looking at him like, what? That'd be funny.
Yeah, it do be funny. Because like Genesis is long.
Right. He's going to read the whole book of Genesis. If he just did a 2-hour lesson, that's about a 24-hour lesson now.
Go ahead.
But that brings the fun in it. But 2 Ezra chapter 15 starting at 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands.
And the modern day sword is a gun. Okay.
Gun,
Pretty much any
weapons.
Any killing instrument.
Exactly. You know, it says, for there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You know, and that really that's going into basically, eventually these people gonna rise up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And they not gonna give a fuck what the government got to say.
Exactly. You know,
you can see that now that the people they done lost faith in the government.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because look at all that the government, these goddamn flies, has done for the people. Okay, especially Jake. And then now these Edomites, they starting to see what it feels like to be Jake, and they can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why really the Israelite man not really complaining about everything that's going on, because shit, we've been having to struggle to survive since we got off the boat.
We've been at the very bottom
Since we got off the boat.
And you know, it says in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right now, they only gonna focus on how they can fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? How they can fuck somebody up so they can survive. They're not gonna be worried about what's right, what's wrong. None of that is gonna mean anything to these people.
No, they gonna only be worried about filling their bellies.
Exactly.
They're only gonna be worried about trying to find food and shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna give verse 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Martial law.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Them lockdowns.
You know, and they've been talking about building these 15-minute cities. He says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Hold on real quick. Can I read 2 Ezra 15 to 16 in the GNT real quick, Baba Kashaw?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna start at 15. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. There will be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government.
Man. We don't see that happening.
Exactly. We do see that happening right now.
We got nations against nations. You know, we got people against people. You know what I'm saying? We even starting to see how they trying to divide. You know, we're not trying to divide. We already divided. We ain't never together.
Yeah, this is a kingdom divided, man.
Yeah, but they bringing in this whole black and white narrative thing again.
They bringing that back out. You got they're gonna bring back the anti-max versus those that want to be max.
Right.
Those that take the Quran versus those who don't take. It's gonna be all type of divisions. But hold on, listen to this. Verse 17. There will no longer be free access to the cities. Like you said, that's that martial law.
Mm-hmm.
Because the struggle for power will bring destruction terror and total confusion wherever people live.
Called it.
Driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions.
Mercilessly plunder their possessions. These people ain't gonna care. These people ain't gonna care. It's gonna be, I already did that. That's why I said call it. So, I mean, these people are not gonna care when it come down to their survival.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Things are finna get so bad out here. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not even gonna be safe in your own home. You know what I'm saying? You
Get finish that out under KJV.
okay?
Even though we can low key nail it. Matter
Yeah,
of fact,
you didn't nail it. So what you got?
get Mark 3:23 through 26.
Okay. Book of Mark chapter 3. Book of Mark chapter 3, verse 23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables. Now this is Yahushua speaking. How can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand.
And
But
Esau Edom is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. That's and we see that Esau is divided against himself. Okay, you got America versus Russia. Okay, that's two Edomite nations going against each other. Okay, and this last war is gonna bring the fall of Esau Edom. Okay, go ahead.
It says, no man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods,
That was it. But go ahead and finish reading it.
except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
Yeah, and that's what they did to the nation of Israel. Okay, that's why they was able to conquer us the way they did. Okay, because they removed a man out of the household. Okay, and shit, it's gonna be vice versa. The table's gonna we
Tables for the time.
about to be trading places, man.
Yeah, they say this devil's house is falling apart.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You know, now scriptures say that his most he truly believes that his house will never fall apart. You know what I'm saying? They think that this kingdom
That
is
house
going
is
to
gonna
last forever.
continue. They think the
Yeah,
house is gonna
because-
continue on forever.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They think this is going to last forever, and it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's been
Their pride has deceived themselves. You know what I'm saying? And so, hey, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah is making moves, and it's time that everybody just simply get on board if you can. What you got out? Am I still reading?
What you on Mark?
Oh, yeah, I'm on 3. Oh,
No, go to Psalms 49:11. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 49, verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. God, that's what we were just talking about, right?
Yup.
You know, they think that their kingdom is gonna last forever. That's why they're setting up the technology that they're setting up. You know, that's why they still continuing to build. You know, and I've said I work at this airport here, and they're building. I seen them saying that they reconstructing the airport, and in 5 years is going to be new. 5 years? I highly doubt we got 5 years left here.
Lord willing.
You know, Lord willing, we don't. I mean, it's all up to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah. We don't know, but the way it's looking, I don't see it.
All right, this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, in verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus said the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom, which is the so-called white man. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent from the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. And right, they are small against the heathen. I mean, look at, they the only nation on the planet Earth that has that leprosy condition that they have. Okay,
They're the only ones, no melanin in their skin.
and they're the real minorities.
Mhm.
They're the real minorities.
And I've been noticing, man, in this summertime, in this heat,
Oh, they
you know what I'm
red
saying?
for real.
Man, it's
Looking
showing.
like this.
Literally. Literally. I see it every day, man, and I'm laughing to myself. I'm laughing hard as hell. inside.
And we also can see that they are greatly despised, man.
Yeah.
Okay, even though they're running the world right now, none of these other nations like them nor respect them,
They
man.
don't even like themselves.
Oh man, bro.
They-
If you thought the self-hatred was bad in Jake, it's really bad in Esau Edom, especially now. When
Oh,
they
yeah.
starting to realize that they're the problem.
You maggots, you
Yep.
know what I'm saying? They tripping, and they
You got some of them that say, I'm not part of MAGA no more because
Mhm.
of how Trump fucking everything up.
and they all Edomites.
Yep, verse 3. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And that's their attitude.
Mhm.
Okay, they feel like especially these Americans, shit, they, oh man, we number
They
one
untouchable.
in the military in this
Strongest
instance. Okay.
military,
Okay, yeah, y'all might got that, but
military,
it's been prophesied for y'all to fall, man.
Mhm. And we see that they military really
Ain't shit.
ain't shit, you know. Especially when Joe Biden got in and he put all these, you know, them happy people.
The ubiquitous. Y'all should want to be saying the ubiquitous.
Yeah, they in the military. It's a whole lot of women in the military.
It's just
You
a
know,
whole bunch of confusion.
You know,
I call
because men ain't a lot of men these days. They all into the internet. You know what I'm saying? They got internet platforms. They doing all that. They ain't worried about your damn military going to the army. You can't offer them enough money, as much money as you pay them to do this online BS.
Yep.
You know, so
And they ain't letting know this country ain't shit. They not finna die for this country, and they not finna die for this government, man. So yeah, y'all through. But continuing on, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is on high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and what's America's bird? What's Russia's bird?
The eagle. Look on the back of your dollar bill.
And what's Russia's bird? Well, I want to say Russia's bird is the eagle too.
That goes back to ancient Rome.
And it goes before that, too.
The Greeks, you know, the Babylonians.
No, not the Babylonians.
Wasn't the Babylonians?
No, on the east side.
Oh, no, they had, yeah, that's right.
Babylonians was Ham.
Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
Ham.
Ham?
Yeah, that's Ham.
Okay.
I want to say that Nebuchadnezzar came from Cush, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, okay.
But back on the
yeah.
topic, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, and if you look at the back of a dollar bill, it has an eagle holding some straw, and the other one they got is about some stars. That's pretty much.
Olive branch,
Mm-hmm.
and but it's represent basically that
They trying to set their nest among the stars. pretty much.
exactly.
Thence will I bring thee down, said Yahweh. Right, and he's only doing this because he hates Esau. He only elevated Esau for a period of time to punish the Israelites. Okay, that's all they got. That's the only reason why he rose them up, is to punish us and to showcase his power when he sends his son back. Okay, just like how he hardened Pharaoh's heart and he lifted up and he set Pharaoh on high. He kept hardening Pharaoh's heart. He kept hardening Pharaoh's heart just to bring him down to showcase his power. It's the same thing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is doing with Esau Edom.
Because that's how he makes his name known.
Exactly.
You know, through his judgments.
Get Romans 9 and 13.
Okay, and just a quick question: do you have 2nd Ezra 11 in the lineup, or?
I believe so.
Not, then I just want to go into it when we get a chance. Because that's going into the lion and the eagle.
No, I didn't got it. We'll go into it. Just remind me.
So we got Romans right now. We got Romans what?
9, 3, 2nd Ezra 11, Lord. got it.
Okay.
You get that.
Okay, Romans 9 and 3. So yeah, this is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ,
Mashiach.
Mashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of God, and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom as concerning the flesh Yahweh Shai came, who is over all, God blessed forever. Amen. And honestly, that's just letting you know that while you out here, a lot of these people you see them, this Ronald Dalton or whatever his name is, everybody wants to save Esau. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, everybody wants to save Esau. You know, 2/3 of Israelites are going to hell, but Esau can be saved. The same man that ruined the earth, the same man that the Lord speaks on and said he would have indignation with, you know, forever. You know, I mean, the curses were amongst us because we are the people of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. We are the Lord's chosen people. Esau just ain't. Now they over there pretending to be us. You know, they're pretending to be something that they ain't. And there's plenty of scriptures in the Bible that prove that they're not. You know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got on that. What you got next time?
Get Luke 21 to 24.
I mean, and ultimately you just can't save Esau, so stop trying. You just have to say that right quick. Luke 21 and 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
And we're coming to the end of the fulfillment of the Gentiles. Mm-hmm. Okay, the time of the Gentiles. Okay, because go back to that image that Nebuchadnezzar seen in that dream, that statue, with the head of iron, the head of gold, the chest of silver, stomach and thighs of bronze, the legs of iron, and the feet were miry clay and iron. And we're in that part of the miry clay and iron. Okay, we had 10 toes. Really, shit, we at the bottom. We we're at this part of at the foot, and we're coming into this part of Jacob's palm.
Yeah.
And Jacob was holding Esau's heel.
Yeah.
That's literally where we're at right now. We're in that transference of power.
Yep.
Okay, because Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Okay.
Yep. And that also, the scripture also, because I'm reading it again. It says, "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations." And that's talking about the Israelites, you know, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And that's what I was just going into, and I was letting you know that they in our land, they in Jerusalem, they in Israel, claiming to be us. But the scripture right here just let you know that they're Gentiles. They the true Gentiles, not the Israelite foreign Gentiles. They are the true Gentiles. That's Amalek. You know what I'm saying? Our land has been trodden down by them. But
they got all type of filth going on in our land.
And it said that it would be trodden down until that their time is fulfilled. Like brother was saying, he has a set date. You know what I'm saying? We don't know that date. You know what I'm saying? But Yahweh Shah has marked his boundaries already. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah has gave him boundaries that he cannot cross.
Yep.
You know, and a certain time limit that he can't cross. He can keep trying to kick the can down the road, but the Lord is going to keep forcing his hand. Just wanted to...
No, you say that. Get 1 Kings 11 and 15. All right, so this is Ezekiel chapter 25 and verse 12. And it reads, thus said the Lord Yahweh, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah, which Judah is the Negroes and West Indians, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay? By taking vengeance and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. Teman and Dedan are different tribes in Edom. Okay? And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. Okay? So meaning that we're gonna be able to get our lick back. But we gotta wait upon the Lord as we just read. Okay, He's gonna put it on us to make that move. Yeah, to make that move. And then too, we ain't gonna be able to go up against Esau carnally against what he got. We gonna need the spirit and power from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai.
Man, Esau got so much shit. I mean, he's blessed with the sword.
And that's why Yahweh likened us unto worms in the book of Jeremiah.
Because right now we're like worms compared to Esau.
Yeah, we defenseless.
Especially as Israelite men.
Because you have a worm out here like on above the soil. It's open game. A bird can come down, swoop and pick him up.
How easy for us to just step on it and.
Yep, we can easily step on it, or shit, he can get fried by the sun. Mm-hmm. You remember back when we was kids, you don't really see, and that's another thing, how you know the earth is all out of course. You don't really see worms like that no more. I remember as a kid growing up, I used to see them things fried on the sidewalk all the time. When the last time you seen a worm fried on the sidewalk?
That's true. That's true.
And that's another reason why the ground is it ain't like it is, because the worms they help cultivate the soil.
That's why we got yellow grass.
Esau fucking everything up, man, destroying the earth.
This man gotta go.
Verse 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, said the Lord Yahweh.
Right, and we're not gonna. We're gonna right now. We can't fight. Carnally against Esau. His weapons are carnal. And is that Isaiah chapter 30? That says that Esau's chariots are of flesh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
30 or 31.
Right. Well, that's carnal. His weapons are carnal.
But
You gotta
spiritual.
Yeah, ours is spiritual, and you can't fathom the power that's within these chariots, within the chariots of the Lord. You can't fathom the power within the Lord, the power that He's gonna give us. You know what I'm saying? And we believe that. We believe that He's going to give it to us, because everything else is in the Bible that's proven itself to be true. That has to be true, And we coming upon the days where we got to expect this to happen. And yes, we will take vengeance, but on the Lord's time. When the Lord said, vengeance shall be mine, Yahweh ain't going to step down here himself and do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But Yahweh Shai is going to come down here with the angels. He said, Michael, he's going to come down.
Yeah, he's the head of the angels.
Right.
I got what you quote. It's Isaiah 31. Go 1. What sorrow awaits those who look to Egypt for help, trusting their horses, chariots, and charioteers, and depending on the strength of human armies, instead of looking to Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel.
Mm-hmm. That's what everybody depends on.
I'm going to jump down to verse, I'm going to keep reading. Verse 2, in his wisdom, Yahweh was saying great disaster. He will not change his mind. He will rise against the wicked and against their helpers. We're talking about Esau. Esau is the wicked, and his helpers are these heathen nations. It's 2/3 of the nation of Israel, especially the so-called black woman. That's his number one weapon right there.
Yeah.
Okay, verse 3. For these Egyptians, and the modern day Egyptians, are these Edomites, these Americans, are mere humans, not God. Their horses are puny flesh, not mighty spirits. When Yahweh raises his fist against them, Those who help will stumble, and those being helped will fall. They will all fall down and die together.
And what's Yahweh's fist?
Yahweh Shah, the right hand. Yeah, because you know most jakes are right-handed. So your strong hand, the one you normally throw out 1st, is your right hand.
Exactly. And we coming, we looking forward to being heirs to that. You know, Yahweh Shah, he said that 144,000, they gonna stand up and fight too.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that. I still got to look into that more. If that means the whole elect or just the 144,000.
We don't.
Either way, we don't know. But we still have that faith. You know, we have that faith, and we know we ain't. Either way, whatever happens, we know Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah gonna be on our side. And we know that this man ain't gonna be able to defeat us with his weapons as long as Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah comes down and show himself. When Yahweh Shah comes down, that's it. You know, so 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 15. For it came to pass when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of the host, was gone up to bury the slain, after he had smitten every male in Edom. For 6 months did Joab remain there with all Israel, until he had cut off every male in Edom.
And that's it. Okay, and then it said that he's going to raise up the tabernacle of David as in the days of old. Hey, we coming back to times like this, but we ain't gonna cut off every man because we gonna need them men to build up the kingdom. We gonna be jacking their ass up. Okay, let me get this. This Amos. Get Jeremiah 49:17. This Amos chapter 1, and verse 9. Thus said Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant. Right. Esau, Edom didn't remember the brotherly covenant between to his brother, because if you go to Genesis the 25th chapter, okay, it goes into the birth of Jacob and Esau, and they're twin brothers. Jacob being the younger twin. Okay, and Esau, he got this beef with Jacob because he feel like he was finessed out of the birthright, but you sold your birthright, bro, because your impatient ass couldn't wait for the food to finish getting cooked. All right,
Down that.
so you sold your birthright, so you end up losing it. You said you didn't care about it.
You remember that scene on The Lion King with Mufasa and Scar? You know, and he was saying, and Scar told Mufasa, he said, when it comes to brains and all that, I have the lion's share. But when it comes to brute strength, he said, I'm afraid I'm on the shallow end of the gene pool. You know what I'm saying? And that's he's basically saying that, yeah, he got the brains because the serpent is more subtle than anybody in the field, than all the beasts of the field. So, yeah, he got all the brains, but see, Mufasa had all the strength. You know what I'm saying? We are normal warriors, you know what I'm saying? In the spirit, if we have the spirit on us like we had back then, like David had, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nowhere in hell Esau could have taken us down like he did. You know what I'm saying?
But the difference between back then, they had Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah on their side.
Exactly.
I mean, we got Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah on our side now.
Right.
But
that's how we know that this thing is spiritual.
Yep, but we gotta wait. We gotta wait on that green light. Go ahead and get what you got.
So, Jeremiah chapter 49, also, verse 17. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, said Yahweh, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it.
And this is talking about America, okay? Because a majority of this is going to be where majority of destruction is going to take place at, because this is where the deliverance the bulk of the deliverance is going to happen here in America.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, of course, this place is going to get pelted with ICBM missiles, and it's not going to be able to be inhabited no more. Okay, due to the radiation fallout. Okay, and then that's just how Yahweh Bashim Havashah wants it. He don't want this place to be inhabited no more. He wants this place to be set up as a memorial of what will happen if you be wicked.
Right, Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
You know, simple as that. And I got a feeling, I really believe that's why a lot of them, the Lord brought these Edomites from South Africa to here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For judgment.
Yeah.
You know?
Anybody that's here is either for judgment or salvation.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank, period. You had some more on that?
Not, nah.
Okay. Well, go to Joel 3:19. This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21. I'm reading NLT. Okay. Are you rejoicing in the land of Uz, O people of Edom? But you too must drink from the cup of Yahweh's anger. You too will be stripped naked in your drunkenness. O beautiful Jerusalem, your punishment will end. You will soon return from exile. But Edom, your punishment is just beginning. All right, their punishment is just beginning. All right.
And if they are the true Israelites, why the fuck are they not in exile? Why the fuck are they not the ones that's being...
No. If they the Israelites, why ain't the Messiah in the land with them? Because the scriptures say that when the Israelites, or who they like to call them, the Jew-ish, okay, when the people supposed to be back in the land, the Messiah is supposed to be there on the throne, and King David's supposed to be there too, ruling.
Right.
That's two
and there wouldn't no
figures.
war anymore. You know,
and
it wouldn't be no more war.
Yo, you still got lions, or carnivores, but in the scriptures it says that they're gonna be eating straw like the ox.
Man.
I mean, the math ain't math.
And they also said you would not have to teach every man his brother. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's for the Israelites.
Right.
So, Israelites. So we're gonna have to teach the heathen.
But if the
But we
Israelites
out here-
are in that land right now,
Shouldn't they be teaching everybody their ways? Shouldn't they? But they not.
right.
Because they try to make an exclusive onto themselves, showing you that they don't fear prophecy.
They don't.
Okay.
They have no fear of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, but it's the Lord. Shut up.
All right, but Edom, your punishment is just beginning. Soon your sins will be exposed, and they being exposed now. Their skirt is being lifted up. Okay. Their own tongue. Let me get that real quick. Get Psalm 64 and 8.
I think I still have to Joel
What, we gonna get back there.
Psalm 64 and 8. Okay, yeah. Psalm chapter 64, verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and all that see them shall flee away.
Yeah, and that's why these other nations are not dealing with America. That's why they're trying to band together and form the BRICS nations, because they see the wickedness of Esau, Edom.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I believe it was some more on that.
It says so. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider of His doing.
Yeah, and you got the men out here on the highways and byways declaring the work of Yahweh, telling y'all what He's doing on the earth. By way of prophecy, okay, by these natural disasters, by these terrors. You got the men of the Lord breaking it down for y'all. It's just y'all choosing not to listen. Read verse 10 for me, Baba Kashaf.
It says, the righteous shall be glad in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and shall trust in Him, and all the upright in heart shall glory.
Con. Now go back to that Joel 3:19.
Okay.
So this is Jeremiah 13:26, and it reads, therefore will I discover thy skirts upon thy face, that thy shame may appear. Right. And like think of like that old was it Marilyn Monroe when she wore that white dress and she went over that bend in the street and it lifted up. That's pretty much what that's talking about, you know, because she seen she was a bear, so she trying to.
Right.
So when Esau's skirts being lifted up, you see, you know, all this information coming out against him, and him doing this is the anti-sim card, misinformation, and all this other BS, and you know, trying to censor and gain control of the narrative.
He playing the victim.
Yeah. Verse 27, I have seen thy adulteries in thy names, the lewdness of thy whoredom, and thy abominations on the hills in the fields. Woe unto thee, O Jerusalem, wilt thou not be made clean when it shall once be? And this was talking to the Israelites, but we can liken this unto Esau, man, because his skirt's being lifted, his tongue is falling upon themselves. And, you know, you can liken it to the whistleblowers, man. Okay, you got all these insiders that was once on the inside coming out and exposing, you know, what these people are really doing behind the scenes. All right, go ahead.
Joel chapter 3, verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. And that's what's coming to America, right? When it's talking about Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, I mean, they as a people, they will. But America is going to be a desolate wilderness. The Lord is going to...
I mean, after they serve their captivity, they're going to be a desolation because they're going to be eradicated off the face of the earth.
But America is going to be totally destroyed. I want to say it's the whole North American continent, because I think it includes Canada. Is included in that. Yeah. You know, these Edomites are, and they the wickedest of the Edomites. You know, them and Amalek.
Yep.
You know.
Turn to, you have some more on that?
Yeah, right quick it says, but Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation.
We're talking about all 12 tribes, man. How we gonna be eternal in our kingdom. Go to Amos 1:11. Well, what you have some more on that?
Yes, right quick. It says, for I will cleanse their blood, and I have that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion. You know, I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed.
Yeah, and that's going to him having mercy on us and forgiving us. Okay, so this is Obadiah. Going back to Obadiah, I'm gonna jump to verse 6.
And what you wanted me to get?
Amos 1:11. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, going into these nations that he was, you know, clicked up with. They starting to turn against him because they see that he ain't right. They starting to see that his doctrine, his democracy, it was trash. All right, and that's why they upset.
It's the beast hating the whore. You know.
So they deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in him. Right, and you can see that, especially with Joe Biden.
Sleepy Joe.
Shall I not in that day, say Yahweh, even destroy the wise man out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty man, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Right. And they are going to get cut off forever. Okay, because of what they did unto us. They just kept going and kept going and kept going. They didn't know when to stop.
Say, even when the captivity came to an end, he still...
That's what I'm looking at, because I know it's somewhere, it's down.
But that's the same thing he did with Pharaoh in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? The Lord was telling him to let my people go, you know, but he hardened his heart. You know what I'm saying?
Let me read verse 11. I'm going to read a little bit more.
Okay.
In that day that thou stoodest on the other side in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem. Even thou was one of them, going into the transatlantic slave trade between Esau, Ham, and Ishmael. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither should thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall be upon thy head. Right. So what? Hey, trading places. Trading places. What goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. Oh, I got a little bit more meat on the bone, man.
And tested the apple of the Lord's eye.
Yeah, he gonna come. He gonna beat y'all asses, man. You touch it. It's like what they say. The jealousy of a man is rage.
The rage of a man
is jealous.
Jealousy
is the rage of a man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know we the woman of Yahweh Shem Shai, and these nations they've been touching on us. And Yahweh Shem Shai, he says it numerous times. I'm a jealous God.
Yep.
And so he finna show his anger, because you just imagine a Jake walk in and see somebody on their woman. He gonna lose it. So just imagine Yahweh Shem Shai. Imagine just put those emotions times infinity. All right, but continuing on, verse 16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
So, like you said, trading places, because right now, we are like that right now. We are as though we had not been. There is no, just even speaking that we're the Israelites, you know, that people look at that like, what the hell are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Because we're as though we are not been. But see, this is what's about to happen to all these heathen nations, starting with Edom. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be as though they had not been. Scripture say that now they look upon him and say, is this the man that did shake kingdoms?
Yep.
You know, that was him. When we got his ass in captivity, people, and we gonna be telling these stories to our kids, they gonna be like,
you talking about him? You talking about the Edomites? Them
live regular motherfuckers.
Them pale skinned people? You mean to tell me them? Really?
Yeah, it say the Lord, like the Lord, he's bringing those curses upon these heathens.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 30:7. But get that Amos 1:11, Baba Kashah.
Amos chapter 1, verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever.
Yeah, and that's what he did. He didn't give us no chill, no nothing. Yeah, he gave us the illusion that, you know, he gave us chill by, you know, removing the yokes of iron off of us. But when he removed it off of us physically, he just put it on us mentally and spiritually.
John, I mean, we're still slaves.
Yeah.
We're just not.
He just made the plantation bigger.
John, and now we're slaves to a bigger system instead of slaves to individual. Yeah, we're corporate slaves now.
And not plantation slaves. I mean, we're still plantation slaves, but y'all get it.
This whole, because America's a big old fucking plantation for Israelites.
Yep. Get Malachi 1:1. This is Joel 3:11. Assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, till the cause thy mighty ones to calm down. Yeah, get all your mighty men, okay, and get them ready for war, Salakia. Let the heathen be waking up and come down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahushaphat, in the Middle East, okay, or the so-called Middle East. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. And right, Esau wickedness is great. Look at all the abominations, man. You got people getting these gender switching operations. Okay, now they making it hard to tell between male and female. This shit's fucking sickening, bro.
God. I mean, and ultimately what that's saying is that Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, you know, he's basically fed up. You know what I'm saying? You done did all this and now it's coming to an end. So now, and Edom and all these other nations, y'all done did all this and now it's coming to an end. And so now he's calling all of y'all to the valley of Jehoshaphat. It's the valley of decision.
He pretty much calling them all to the table.
Yeah. I think that means Yahweh's judgment.
Yeah.
Right? Because he said, my determination is to gather the nations, you know, that I may judge them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the Lord finna bring them together to destroy them.
You about to lay that
You know what I'm
smack
saying?
down.
Man.
Let me,
If you smell what Yahweh is cooking.
Boy, you off the chain. But verse 13, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down. We should have brought this scripture out last week when we was going into, the harvest.
No,
It was a couple of
For
scriptures.
real.
It was a couple of scriptures I was
Yeah.
upset that we didn't bring out. But hey, it's just how the spirit wanted it to go last week, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You go.
Yep. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision.
Mm-hmm.
The sun and moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining from the thick clouds of smoke, from the missiles being shot off.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. But Yahweh will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. And it's talking about the elect, because the elect is the only ones who are going to believe in Yahweh. Okay.
This is why we out here doing this, man.
Yeah, because the 2/3, they believe in who the world ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ. Okay, and they ain't gonna show up for you, because when you think of God and Jesus Christ, those titles, you think of a so-called white man.
Right.
Okay, but then when you say Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, you think of so-called black man as they described in the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
They both said that they had dark bronze colors, bronze or brass that's been put in the oven, man.
Right. Burnished brass.
Like, stop being ignorant, man.
For real. He said his eyes was red, like a flame of fire. He wasn't blue.
Like, it's just like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
His hair was like wool. It wasn't straight and fucking blonde. Get the fuck over it. I'm sorry. I mean, but hey, look here, man. It's time to stop playing games. That's what that script. If you don't mind, read that one more time. That last.
Yahweh also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and we are people before we are placed.
Mm-hmm.
And the heavens and earth shall shake, but Yahweh will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. He's our hope and our strength. And like brother said, this is why we come out here and do these things. We come out here and do this because we want to be protected. We want that help from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We need that strength because we can't do shit on our own. We just said earlier that we liken unto worms.
Exactly. It's time to stop playing games and get real, man.
But only the elect is going to get it. Okay, verse 17. So shall ye know that I am Yahweh your God, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. Right.
And it says, I am Yahweh your God, meaning I am Yahweh your power. That's where our power lies.
Yeah, that's the source.
You know what I'm saying? That's how we stand up and fight. That's how we win. Like David said, blessed be the Lord Yahweh that teaches my hands to war.
Yep, and then
You know
also
what I'm
too, don't forget Salakia to cut you off. But remember when he was going up against
Goliath?
yep, and Saul was like, you wear my armor They was like, I don't need your armor. I haven't proved it or anything. I just need the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Come.
And that's all we need, the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem
Because
Yahushua.
I did a lesson on that there, and I was speaking on a long time ago, a couple of years ago. But it said that rock, the stone that David threw, sunk into Goliath's head. You know how much power,
How much force?
how much force had to been.
It's like that
you
mother's
know,
like a bullet down there.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? That was Yahweh with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and we coming into the time that the Lord is going to do this for us.
Yep. We gotta believe.
Yeah, we got to believe that. But either way, hey, these people got to go down.
Yep. Go ahead and get that.
Malachi 1, and you said verse 4. It says, whereas Edom said, we are in...
No. Matter of fact. Start at the top.
Start at the top. Okay. Malachi 1 and 1. The burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord.
Yeah, he loves the nation of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? It's like you, and that's Israel. Just like prove it. How did you love us? You know. But the Lord has said, it says, was not Esau Jacob's brother? You know. Said the Lord, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and I laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever.
Yeah, so they're the wicked. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they still building. They continue to they built, you know what I'm saying, with our blood and sweat and tears, you know what I'm saying? But they built, and the Lord is getting ready to throw down, like he said. The Lord is going to make good on his word. You know. And yes, they are the border of wickedness. This word is rooted nothing but wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we look forward to it, Slakia, but we look forward to a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Get Psalms 137 and 7. No, Slakia, Isaiah 11 and 14. This is Amos chapter 9 and verse 12. Matter of fact, I'm going to start up at 9, 8. Behold, Amos 9 and 8, behold, the eyes of Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom. America's that sinful kingdom because, you know, when this was written, it was talking about the Israelites, I call it. But now, you know, we talk about America. And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said Yahweh.
Good one.
For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. You know, because we've been scattered to all over the earth. So yeah, he gonna have to, you know, sift us out, okay, from amongst them other nations.
We're scattered amongst, like you said, we're scattered amongst all the nations, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be shown who true Israelites are.
Yeah, who's the ones of the elect.
Okay. And even in the kingdom, everybody gonna know who is who. You know?
For lo, no, it's verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
On the school.
Which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. And they pretty much say nothing good or bad gonna happen unto them. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. We quoted this earlier. And close up the breaches thereof. And I'll raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, because there's going to be a lot of Edomites that's going to get, you know, taken out in this time. Okay, so it's going to be a remnant among Edom and the heathen too, but we're going to possess them.
And that temple is being built right now as we speak. It's being built within us, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, you know what I'm saying, and like-minded people like ourselves that's out here doing this in truth and sincerity. You know, that's building that temple, the temple of David.
Yep,
You know what I'm
the
saying?
tabernacle
And it's
of David.
almost complete. It's pretty much about to be complete, and once it's complete, best believe Yahweh Shah will show himself.
Okay. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, and of all the heathen, which are called by my name, said Yahweh, that doeth this. Go ahead and get that Isaiah 11.
Isaiah 11 and 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again, and the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea.
So pretty much all over. We like it said, part of the curses, we've been scattered all over. Okay, and he's gonna come deliver us out from everywhere he scattered us from. Okay, he's gonna keep up on his end of the promises.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel. That's the elect.
Yeah, and the ensign that he's setting up is, you know, the men, starting with the apostles and elders, you know, out there on the highways and hedges, because this is a sign. Okay, this is a spectacle. All right, go ahead.
It says, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
Meaning that we all gonna get along again. Going back to what we just read, he's building up the tabernacles of David.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because during David's time and Solomon's time, we was all together. Okay,
Before the kingdom was split.
yeah, we was all together. Okay, chilling, one big happy family. We gonna have that family reunion again. Get Job 27 and 14. But this is Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, which means destroy it, destroy it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, so which shows that Esau, Edom, will be, it's synonymous with daughter of Babylon, or mystery Babylon. Who art thou, who art to be destroyed? Happy shall he be that rewarded thee, as thou hast served us. Yeah. Yahweh Shah gonna be happy as hell to bring y'all asses down. Mm-hmm. Just as y'all was happy to bring us down.
Done.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Hey, how about Shem Shah? He gonna have to put a special spirit on us during them times, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Go on, do what you
We're
got.
going to do it. Job chapter 27, verse 14. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread.
God.
Huh. And you know what? They already barely, they can barely reproduce. They can barely reproduce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like you said, if his children be multiplied, it's for the sword. That means only damnation is coming to these Edomites.
Hey, if it ain't for the sword, it's for damn sure gonna be for captivity.
God.
For damn sure.
And a lot of these Edomites like to say, well, you don't pay for the sins of your fathers. This proves that you do.
Yeah, and you are your fathers back in the reincarnation.
God.
All right, this is get Jeremiah 49 and 22. This is Zechariah chapter 5 and verse 2. Jeremiah.
Yeah, 49 and 22.
This is Zechariah chapter 5 and verse 2. I'm gonna start at 1. Zechariah 5:1. Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying robe. So he saw what the world ignorantly called UFOs and UAPs, okay, which is a chariot, okay, a spaceship. That's what he saw, which are the vehicles that the angels are going to be driving in, Yahweh Shah is going to be driving in to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel but to bring destruction on the earth. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side. And Esau done stole land masses. Okay, he done stole people. He done stole heritages. Okay.
This nigga stole everything. He ain't got nothing honesty.
Yeah,
He did no hard work. And then the only hard work he did was theft.
Yeah, and he unoriginal as hell. Okay. He shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, said Yahweh, Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. America, because hey, Esau stole this country from the northern kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And into the house of him that swears falsely by my name, and they swear falsely. Okay, every president that come in, they put their hand on the Bible. They're swearing falsely. Okay, swearing that they're gonna, run the country to the, good and all that. But every president that came in here ran this bitch more and more into the ground than the one before him. Call that one too.
Man blowing a lot of smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. It's just smoke and mirrors.
Yep. And it shall remain in the midst of the house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Meaning he gonna burn this down. Gonna get that, Baba Kashah.
Jeremiah chapter 49, you said 22, right? Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Bosra, and at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pain.
Salakia and Basra is the chief capital of Edom. Okay, so what's modern day Basra? America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's why I said that the mighty men of Edom shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pain.
They gonna be out their mind, because a woman, they go off their emotions. So pretty much what they're saying is these men, the Edomite men, gonna be hella emotional in the times to come.
They ain't gonna know what the hell to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then Jake gonna rise up. You know what I'm saying? Judah, even 2/3, Judah.
They gonna run them YNs.
Yeah, they gonna
be hey, what did it say? Judah shall be a terror. Get Job 14:5. This is Jeremiah 50 in the verse 11. Because you were glad. No, I'm gonna start at 10. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, said Yahweh. We gonna be satisfied as hell. Okay. Yahweh
runneth over.
Yep. Yahweh Shah and his men that get down on this place, are they gonna be hella satisfied to get their lick back on this place after all the heartache, suffering, and pain we had to go through? Oh man!
You know how I feel when that big old turkey be coming.
Here he goes.
You know what I'm saying? Here I go, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they gonna say. It's what everybody gonna say when that turkey coming down. They gonna say, "Here you go, here you go." It's gonna be like 10 feet tall, like 500-pound turkey.
Damn, you know just 10 feet.
I might go 20.
I'm gonna say, man, you gonna do it big, man.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You gonna do it big.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tie something up. Yeah, already.
Anyways,
for real.
Back to what the scriptures. Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O ye destroyers of my heritage. And yeah, they destroyed the Lord's heritage when they brought us out the boat. Okay, like going back to that movie Roots, when they beat Kunta Kinte until he said his name was Toby, liking that onto us. They beat us until we said, we Negroes, we ain't Israelites no more, we ain't Hebrews no more. Pretty much the same thing.
And that's why scriptures say that in these days we would give ourselves Hebrew names.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we know that these are slave names that we got.
Yep.
You know, He said, your name is Toby. Your master gave you a name. What is it? You know, but you, woo, these people got a lot to pay for.
Because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness. Yahweh called you the hindermost. Also showing you that you're gonna be the last one to rule. Okay, because you're the hindermost, you're the last empire of this age.
The basis of men.
Come on. Because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goes by Babylon shall be astonished, and hiss at her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against Yahweh. Right, in all these countries that have ICBM missile technology, oh, they already got their missiles aimed at America. They just waiting on Yahweh to put that spirit on them to push that button. All right, shoot against her round about. She have given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her, as she have done. Do unto her.
And the scripture also said, reward her double.
Yep.
You know, Job 14:5. You got something else?
No.
Okay, Job chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. You said that earlier.
Yeah, he got a time period that he can't get out of. Just like how he can't escape the Van Allen belt. There's only so far he can go into his space, into the atmosphere.
Well,
He got bounds. He literally got bounds. He cannot pass.
He said he that let it will now let until
He be letting out the way. Or some broken paraphrase.
yeah, something like that. Till his time be fulfilled, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Get Isaiah 34, 2 through 6. This is Acts 17 and verse 26. And have made me, it's like it have made of one blood all nations of men, for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and have determined the times before appointed, and the bounds of their habitations.
What's that again?
Isaiah.
Isaiah.
My bad. All right. So hey, as it was saying, okay. Man, hold on. You threw me off, goddammit. Okay, there it is. Yahweh determined the times of this man's kingdom. The time, from the foundation, everything was put in place at the foundation of the earth. We're just literally just playing it out right now. Point blank period. Go ahead and get that.
Okay, Isaiah chapter 34, starting at verse 2.
Stop at 6.
Got you. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations.
And that is righteous anger. Go ahead.
And his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
And that mountains goes into governments, man. Go ahead. Mountains and hills goes into large or small governments.
And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
That goes to the mushroom
cloud. Yeah.
Yep.
From the nuclear missiles.
Mm-hmm.
And all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree.
And I remember, Elder Yazriali used to always bring out how those figs look like them old atom bombs.
Yeah. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
So look like that's not just talking about
he's talking about bringing this man down.
No, that's talking about that missile flying across the sky, going to reach its point.
And it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Who was the Lord's people, the people of the Lord's
Well,
curse.
Idumea is
Yep.
Edom.
Yep, which we had read that in Malachi 1 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember it said that the people who the Lord
Had
indignation for forever. Okay.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of the rams. For the Lord had a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Yeah, this place is gonna be it's one sacrifice, one big ass
A
altar.
great sacrifice.
It's one big altar.
And didn't the scripture say that the carcasses, really ain't nobody gonna be buried. Ain't no funerals and all of that, but the carcass is gonna be food for the vultures and all that, the other animals and stuff. That's gonna dwell here. Cause that's gonna ain't no more human activity in America after that.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50, Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63.
Okay. My bad.
This is Jeremiah 50 and 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I'm going to tell you why. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh. That's why he's doing this, because you kept fighting against him. Okay? Yahweh have opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of Yahweh, Lord of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. Okay? Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left.
Nothing. It's a desolate wilderness.
Yep. So nothing at
And
all,
this
man.
is total desolation. This place is America's done, man.
He about to. Hey, go ahead and read it. We about to go
Okay.
into how we about to go into more into the destruction.
Isaiah chapter 63, starting at verse 1. Who is this?
And stop at 4.
Who is this that cometh from Edom? Edom, with dyed garments from Bozrah. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength.
That's talking about Yahweh Shai coming to slaughter the Edomites, which means he's gonna have dyed garments, because it's like been dipped in blood. Okay, and then also too the traveling in the greatness is him being in that chariot.
In his glorious state, because he said he would take vengeance and he would not meet thee as a man. He gonna be in his glorious state. You know, he coming down as that superior being that he really is.
Yep.
You know.
Go ahead, man.
It says, I that speak in righteousness mighty to save. So yeah, Yahweh Shai. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. You know, and that's just symbolic of the blood that's going to be shed.
Yeah.
You know, how many people, it's going to be a whole, like you said, he had a sacrifice in Bozrah.
Yep.
You know.
Yahweh Shai coming to stomp niggas out.
He is not coming to throw no barbecue with you niggas.
That's it.
Now, I got another more meat on there. It says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I would tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, the day and the year of my redeemed is come. Man, and I can't wait.
So let me get this precept real quick while you go to Jeremiah 30 and 16. So this is Revelation chapter 19 and verse 11, and it reads, I'm starting at 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse that goes to that chariot, that big fathership that Yahweh Shai is going to be coming in on. Okay? And he that sat upon it was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he do judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. That's because he took down all these other nations. And he had a name written that no man knew but himself, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Yahweh. Right.
And that's Yahweh Shai.
Con. So go ahead and get that.
Jeremiah chapter 30 and 16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. And all thine adversaries, you got something?
No, I was going to say, all these heathen nations have devoured the nation of Israel. Every one of them. It said in the book of Maccabees, all these heathen nations had they turn with us.
Mm-hmm. Is there Psalms 83 that came, they confederate?
Yep.
You know, but it says, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they shall spoil thee, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. And precept to that in Revelation said, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed by the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints.
Son, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee from thy wounds.
Stop at 18.
Okay, said the Lord Yahweh, because they called thee an outcast.
And we are outcasts, man. Go ahead. Especially the elect,
Son,
the hopeful elect. Okay, we are outcasts. We don't fit in with the rest of our people. Go ahead.
because we don't wear goatees no more. We don't wear flat tops and get head chips and shit. It says, this is Zion whom no man seeketh after. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be builded upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. And this is the Lord is finished to restore. He's going to bring us back. He's coming to deliver us from this captivity, and he's going to restore our kingdom. You know.
All right, this the book. Go to Jeremiah 16 and 19. This is Sirach. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, and Esau's hella covetous, man. Okay? Because that's all he did when he was ruling, coveting after other people's land. Go in there, kill off assassinate their leader, send in one of his puppet leaders, and milk them dry of all their resources. For
like he did, my bad, like he did Panama.
Or like how he did Iraq and Iran.
Iraq and Iran. But Panama, that was the tribe of Zebulon. And he went in there and he basically, because I remember seeing, I watched the video that you see George Bush get on TV, just Daddy Bush get on TV talking about Panama was under siege or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Basically the people was living, the leader, their ruler was basically fucking over the people, you know. But them people was living good. Zebulon was living good over there. You know what I'm saying? But Esau just came in, George Bush Sr. just came in there bombing and took their leader, killed him, you know what I'm saying, and then set in a puppet leader. Like you just said, they do this, they did that.
It's the same MO.
That's the same thing, that's what Vladimir Zelensky is.
Yep.
You know?
A puppet.
A fucking puppet. And that's what every damn president in America is.
Yep. So continuing on. For such a one setteth his own soul to sell, because while he liveth, he casteth away his vows. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 14. The Lord has cast down the thrones of the proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. Right, Esau's them proud princes. Okay, because Esau's hella proud. Alright, you can't tell them shit. And then the meek that's going to be put up, you got the meek that's going to be put in their stead is the Israelites, the 12 tribes. Starting with the Yahweh Shai and his elect. Okay?
It's the meek that shall be put in the stead. He said the meek,
the meek shall inherit the earth.
Yes. God.
Verse 15, Yahweh hath plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. Yahweh overthrew countries of the heathens and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. Yeah, he's gonna do it again. Okay, what you think the missiles gonna do? They're gonna burn it down to the ground. Okay? And he's gonna plant the lowly, okay, the Israelites, the elect in their stead, man, in the place of the proud. So go ahead and bring that out.
Okay, this is Jeremiah chapter 16. You said verse 19, right?
Yeah.
O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit.
Yep.
Oh man, you seeing that today? You seeing how they, like you said, their tongue will fall upon themselves?
Yep.
You see a lot of Edomites sit there talking like now, saying like this is not no American dream. It is BS. You know, and they realizing that.
No, I'm waiting on you to finish because I'm about to quote.
You got something?
So I'm just about to requote something that you said earlier.
Okay, but they realizing that this whole, what they thought was the American dream, they thought that it's a nightmare. They thought that these stories about George Washington and all them, their forefathers, you know, they did all this and did all that, and they realizing they really didn't do nothing but what we've been saying they doing. They raped, mobbed, and murdered.
Yep, and then also too, remember when you was up talking about when Esau be like, we shouldn't have to pay for what our forefathers did, and I was like, you your forefathers in the reincarnation. Well, these the lies that you inherited, you know, because y'all, hey, it was all good for y'all when y'all was benefited, when y'all was benefited off us being on the bottom, when y'all was benefited off of us, you know, getting treated the way we did. But now now that the tables are starting to turn, oh man, it don't feel too good now.
Exactly.
Nah, man, go on, tilt your head back and drink from that cup, man.
There you go, drink from that cup.
Come on, you was it on that? Just 19.
Okay, then yeah.
Go to Numbers 20.
Okay, yeah, that was it.
Go to Numbers 24 and 17. This is Jeremiah 4 and 7.
Numbers 24 and 17?
Yes.
My bad.
Jeremiah 4 and 7. The lion has come up from his thicket. This is Yahweh because he is referred to as the Lion of Judah. And the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy city shall be laid waste without an inhabitant. For this, gird you with sackcloth, lament and howl, for the fierce anger of Yahweh is not turned back from us. Go ahead. that speaks for itself, man. Yahweh Shai, hey, like you said, he ain't coming to barbecue with you niggas.
For real. Numbers chapter 24, verse 17. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and the scepter, shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheph. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies.
The Seir is talking about Esau.
And Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have all the dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever.
God. Now, 19. That was 20. Okay. Well, I got the definition for the word valiant, and it goes into possessing or showing courage or determination. Similar words goes brave, fearless, courageous.
So the Lord gonna raise us up, man. He's gonna give us those spiritual powers.
Lion-hearted. Okay.
Lion-hearted. Every time we mention lion-hearted. or something like that. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking about that one scripture right there.
Okay.
We'll
This,
get to it.
Get, 2 Ezra 9 and 22. 2 Ezra
I'll tell
9
you
and
this now later. I was just thinking about something, but
Okay, so this is Job chapter 20, verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, meaning, him being of a high status, being big-headed, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yet he shall be chased away as a vision of the night, going into when we eradicate them off the face of the earth in the kingdom. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. His children shall seek to please the poor. Okay, the Edomites, oh, I got black friends, and they trying to kiss Jake ass and shit. And his hand shall restore their goods. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue. Yeah, they like to try to hide their wickedness. Throw a rock and hide their hand.
Yep.
Okay. Though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of asps within him. He has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yeah, all the riches he done stole from everybody. He gonna throw them things back up. Okay. Yahweh shall cast him out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asps. The viper's tongue shall slay him. And he's likened unto the serpent, so his own tongue is gonna slay him, man. He's gonna tell on himself. So go ahead and get that for me.
2 Ezra chapter 9 and 22. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant for.
So like it start up at 21.
Okay. And I saw, 2 Ezra 9 and 21, and I saw and spared it greatly.
This is talking about the elect of the nation of Israel.
And they have kept me a grape of the cluster, and the plant of a great people.
So out of that whole cluster of grapes, he only kept him one. That represents the 1/3, the remnant, the elect. Okay?
Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain.
And these people, they born in vain. What purpose do they serve? That's why Yahweh about it. You ain't finna let no niggas, no YNs, no damn thoughts be on the damn chariot. Hell no. Because he wants a particular standard. He wants a particular quantity.
They had a role that they were created to play.
Yeah.
And that role was not to win at the end.
Yeah.
Their role was just to be the wicked.
Yep.
To be evil, to put hell on us.
Yep. And they played the hell out their role.
No shit.
Hold on. Oh, yeah, keep going.
Okay, it says, and let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant. For with great labor have I made it perfect.
Yep. And I feel like that grape represents the 144,000, and that people is the 1/3.
The 1/3, yeah. And he said, in their labor have I made it perfect. So we're out here, that's us just preaching this word, doing the work.
Yeah. The Father's business, man.
Exactly.
Get 1 Corinthians 7 and 30. This is the book of Luke, chapter 19 and verse 27. And it reads, and this is Yahushua speaking. But those my enemies, who are not, that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. And that's what's going to be happening to a lot of the 2/3, okay? Because after, we come down off the ships and we, go around the rest of the world, we're going to have to kill a lot of the rebels, okay? That's not going to want Yahushua to reign over them, okay? The Israelites that have been scattered abroad, You know, they don't want Yahweh Shai to reign over them, they're going to get slain and be put in the spirit world, man. Go ahead and bring that out.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 30. And they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not, and they that use this word as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away.
Yeah, the fashion of this world passes away, man. Point blank, period. So it's nothing left. There's nothing left here. Okay, that was it.
Well,
No, that
Nah,
was it.
that was it.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So get 2nd Ezra 14 and 10. This is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 5. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, an evil, and only evil, behold, is come. The end is come, the end is come. It watching for thee, behold, it is come. The morning is come unto thee, O thou that dwellest in the land, the time is come. The day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. Now will I shortly pour out my fury upon thee, and accomplish my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and I will recompense thee for all thy abominations. And my eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity. I will recompense thee according to thy ways, and thy abominations that are in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh that smiteth. Right. They gonna know it's coming from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Then they can deny it all they want to now, but it's gonna come a point in time you can't deny it anymore.
But he said they would they'll tell the rocks to fall upon them and hide them from the face of the might of them.
Yep, of the Lamb.
Yeah. You know, because they know the Lord is getting ready to come through his thing.
That's why they building all the bunkers.
Yeah, they building those bunkers, but they still ready to go to war. He said they were
would be
so afraid
they
to
just
still fight because their pride. They still got that pride. You know, and they do believe in their sword. You know, and their technology is part of their sword. They do believe that they have done enough with their technology to possibly be able to take down Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and angels. Hey, that's some hell of a pride, that, bro.
Yeah, and that's a hell of a pride. And then the one that gave you your technology is the one you're gonna go fight against.
Right.
You think he gonna give you some technology that's gonna beat him? Like,
Right.
come on, bro. Let's be serious.
We said it earlier. The Lord just put him in a trick bag. He said he blessed him with the sword. He said, by the sword shalt thou live, you know.
Yep, and then he said, if you live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword. Yep.
You know, that was you. The Lord put you in a trick bag. You weren't meant to rule forever.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, no, go ahead. I was just gonna say get 2nd Ezra 11 and
Okay.
37.
11 and 37.
Yeah.
But your kingdom has to come to an end.
And it's coming fast. Verse 11. Violence is risen up into a rod of wickedness. None of them shall remain, nor of their multitude, nor of any of theirs, neither shall there be wailing for them. Yeah, nobody's gonna be crying over y'all. Shit. We're gonna be rejoicing more than anything. Happy that y'all out there. Shit. Y'all are all the power. Because y'all are cancer on the earth.
For real.
Or y'all the scum of the earth, but continuing on. The time is come, the day draweth near. Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. Right. Now, the Lord's wrath is coming very, very quickly. Go ahead and get what you got.
I got 2nd Ezra chapter 11. I'm going to start at verse 36. It says, Then I heard a voice which said unto me, Look before thee, and consider the thing that thou seest. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the wood.
The lion represents Yahweh Shai. You're going to go all the way to the end.
Okay, you good? You good?
You know what I'm saying? Like all the way to verse 46 to the end of the chapter. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, got you. And I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle.
The eagle represents Esau.
Yep, and said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee. You know, and I was talking about this last night. You know, that shows that Yahweh Shai, and that disproves that whole Trinity crap. You know what I'm saying? The lion represents Yahweh Shai, but he's saying, I'm talking to you but the Most High is saying this to you. You see what I'm saying? So I'm giving you my Father's words, basically.
Exactly.
You know, so it says here, thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them?
Once again, proving that Esau's the end of the world. Jacob's the end of it. Their followers, man.
John. And there four beasts that goes to
That division that Daniel had.
John, the Babylonian kingdom, then the Medo-Persian captivity,
then the Grecian,
and Rome. And right now here, this is the last. This is
the beast with the deadly wound that was in
them
him.
here, the Rome rebirth, the rebirth of Rome.
Yep.
You know, so it's still the Roman Empire.
Yep.
You know, this
That's
is
modernized.
this is that fourth kingdom still. You know. It said, and the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wickedness, with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
And that's what he's been doing the whole time. He's been using deceit in everything he do. That's how he shit. Well, you had said it earlier. That's all the nigga do is lie.
He was born speaking lies.
Yep.
You know, he can't. It's simply, man, the truth is not in him.
Yep.
Like the scriptures say.
Nah.
You know, but what was that? Okay, yeah. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth.
They don't do that at all. At all.
For real, for real. For thou hast afflicted the meek, the Israelites. Thou hast hurt the peaceable. Thou hast loved liars. Yep. Eve.
Oh man. Especially Eve.
Right? And destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hath cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy proud unto the mighty. Thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also hath looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled.
God.
It's gonna come a time when you can't. There's impossible for you to even do no more wickedness. And you come with everything going on, you can almost reach that point.
Yep.
To where your wickedness is pretty much
Coming
fulfilled.
to an end.
You know what I'm saying? Now, that's why all they can do now. That's why the time is speeding up, and that's why they're doing so much right now, because
They know he got a short time.
Right. Ain't no more wickedness they can do. They done did every damn thing.
God.
It says,
44.
yeah, the
Not
highest.
45.
Verse 45. And therefore appear no more, thou eagle. I'm gonna repeat that. Appear no more, thou eagle, Esau Edom, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body.
Pretty much everything, your whole essence.
Exactly. Your philosophy, your
Doctrines, your democracy, your way of life, all that shit is gonna be no more. Go ahead.
God. It says that all the earth may be refreshed.
That's what's gonna happen. How about when he's bringing these, raining these nukes? That's him hitting the refresh button on the earth, man. Go ahead.
God. And may return, being delivered from thy violence. And this man ain't been nothing but violent. And that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. Hallelujah, Hashem Yahushua. And that's what we hope. We just hope. We want mercy from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, so we can make it. We praying that the Lord come take this man down soon. ASAP.
And I got one more, just to drive it all the way home. This is 2 Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or what shall be the end of the first age in the beginning of that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Jacob, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Okay, and that's the period of time we in right now. Okay, Jacob, because they was fighting the whole time when they was in the womb, and Esau went out first, and how I take that, Jacob like, get your ass back now. Where the hell you going?
So when but just like that goes into Job when he said, just when he was about to fill his belly, so just when Esau think he gonna reach that pinnacle, you know what I'm saying, when he think that he can reach it, actually brought in his own NWO completely, and he think he there, that's when Yahweh Shah gonna, nigga, he said, that's when I bring thee down.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
He gonna bring them down.
Hey, yeah.
And so verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, or this age, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Hold on, let me get this in the NLT.
Yeah.
Alright, well this is the CEV version. 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. I answer, what separates the times? What is the end of the first and the beginning of that which follows? He said to me, from Abraham to Isaac, because Jacob and Esau were born from him. But Jacob's hand held Esau's heel from the outset. Esau represents the end of this age, and Jacob represents the beginning of the following. The beginning of the one man is his hand, and the end of the other man is his heel. Don't look for anything else between heel and hand, Ezra. That's why I wanted to get that. Because there's not going to be anything else in between. There's not no other heathen nations going to come and rule them, but no.
Drop the mic on that one.
Yeah. Hey, straight up. So when Esau, once your kingdom is down, it's going to be the beginning of the kingdom of heaven, man. As we just read. So, as we say every week, repent, turn back unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because we see that the kingdom of the Edomites is on a rapid decline, and it's not going to slow down, man. It's going to keep picking up the pace. Okay? So, repent and turn back unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because that'll be the best thing you can do. Okay? To have some type of hedge protection around yourself. Because you're going to need it in the times we're coming into.
That's your faith.
Exactly.
Stay faithful. Stay faithful, stay confident, you know what I'm saying? And stay prayed up. You gotta stay prayed up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
So with that, you have any other closing words?
Nah, that was it.
Alright, so we're gonna bring this camp to a close. We pray and hope it was edifying. We're gonna give our praises, our honor, and our glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Alright. Giving double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who we learn the truth of the Bible from. And peace, blessing, safety, and salutation unto the hopeful elect, and to you believers and listeners out there that came back into the faith and obedience of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And much love and respect unto you brothers pushing this gospel in sincerity and truth, risking your lives of freedom now more so than ever. May Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai continue to bless you and your households. And with that, Shalom.
Shalom.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
And a Bible ball.
A Bible ball.
Shalom.
Shalom.